What if the most powerful weapon in modern warfare isn't a missile, a fighter jet, or even a nuclear bomb, but a line of a computer code? From hidden bunkers in Israel, a secretive group of young men and women sit behind glowing screens, typing commands that can crash power grids, disable radar systems, and steal the world's most guarded secrets. They're not soldiers with rifles, they're hackers in uniform. And together they form Unit 8200, Israel's shadowy cyber army. Little is officially known about them, but experts call Unit 8200 one of the most formidable intelligence organizations on earth. Some say it's even more powerful than the NSA. This is the untold story of how a small nation built a digital spy machine that changed the rules of global power. Born in the shadows, Unit 8200's story began in the earliest days of Israel's existence. In 1948, surrounded by hostile neighbors, Israel understood that survival depended not just on soldiers in the field but on information. The new state formed a military intelligence branch tasked with intercepting enemy communications. Its mission was simple but critical: listen to enemy radio chatter, crack codes, and provide early warnings before attacks. Over time, this signals intelligence branch grew become Unit 8200. By the 1960s, it was already legendary inside Israel for its ability to decode Arab military's transmissions. In the 1973 Yom Kippur War, though Israel was initially caught off guard, 8200's rapid decoding of Egyptian and Syrian communications played a critical role in turning the tide. The lesson was clear: technology could save lives as much as tanks and jets. From radios to code, for decades, Unit 8200 was focused on listening, intercepting phone calls, radio frequencies, and even diplomatic cables. But as the world moved into the digital age, so did espionage. By the 1980s and 1990s, computers and internet changed everything. Unit 8200 adapted faster than anyone else. They recruited not just soldiers but mathematicians, cryptographers, and computer prodigies straight out of high school. Inside secret facilities, these young recruits learned to break encryption, infiltrate computer systems, and build offensive weapons. By the 2000s, Unit 8200 wasn't just listening to conversations, they were inside enemy servers. They could see troop movements in real time. They could disable radar systems before Israeli jets struck. It was a new age of warfare, and Unit 8200 was at the front line. Stuxnet, the cyber bomb. The moment the world first glimpsed Unit 8200's power came in 2010. A mysterious computer worm called Stuxnet began spreading inside Iran's Natanz nuclear facility. At first, it looked like a technical glitch, but then investigators realized the truth. Stuxnet was a cyber weapon, the most advanced ever discovered. It targeted the exact type of centrifuges Iran used to enrich uranium. It silently made them spin out of control while showing normal readings on a computer screen. The result? Machines self-destructed, and Iran's nuclear program was set back by years. Stuxnet is widely believed to have been a joint operation between Unit 8200 and US NSA. It was the world's first digital weapon of mass effect, the first time code caused real-world physical destruction, and it changed the nature of global warfare forever. The global reach of 8200. But Iran was only the beginning. Over the last decade, Unit 8200 has reportedly expanded its reach far beyond the Middle East. Leaked reports suggest it monitors global communication cables, track financial transactions, and hacks into encrypted messaging apps. Western agencies, including the CIA and NSA, have quietly praised Iran's cyber intelligence. In some cases, American counterterrorism units have relied on tips from Unit 8200 to disrupt plots in Europe and Africa. One former US intelligence official once admitted, When it comes to signals and cyber, 8200 punches far above Israel's size. Sometimes they even see things before we do. But Unit 8200's impact isn't just in the shadows, its veterans are everywhere. After leaving the unit, many go on to found billion-dollar tech startups in Tel Aviv and Silicon Valley. Companies like Checkpoint, NSO Group, and Wiztrace, their roots back to Unit 8200 alumni. That's why the unit is often called Israel's startup nursery inside the unit. So, how does it work? Unit 8200 recruits its members straight out of high school. The Israeli Defense Forces test every teenager for aptitude in math, logic, and problem solving. Those who score at the very top are invited to join. Inside of basic training with rifles, they enter rooms filled with glowing screens. They learn to hack into enemy systems, break encryption keys, and analyze mountains of intercepted data. Most are barely 18 years old. By the time they leave at 21 or 22, they have the kind of experience cybersecurity experts in the civilian world could only dream of. The system creates a constant flow of talent, brilliant minds who cut their teeth in military intelligence, then fuel Israel's booming tech economy. Controversies and criticism, but with power comes controversy. Human rights groups accuse Unit 8200 of using surveillance against Palestinian civilians, collecting personal data to pressurize or recruit informants. Some former members have publicly spoken out, refusing to serve in operations they said crossed ethical lines. The use of Israeli spyware tools like Pegasus, developed by NSO Group, has also drawn global criticism. While not officially, Unit 8200, many of its alumni are behind such companies, blurring the line between state and private cyber operations. Critics warn that Israel's dominance in cyber intelligence could encourage an arms race, pushing other nations to develop equally aggressive capabilities. In other words, Unit 8200 didn't just change Israel's security, it changed the entire global landscape of cyber warfare. The future of cyber war. The truth is, cyber war is no longer science fiction. From hospitals to banks, from satellites to power grids, everything today runs on code that makes everything vulnerable. Unit 8200's success is a warning. The next world war might not begin with tanks crossing a border, but with lights going out in cities, planes grounded by hacked systems, or stock markets crashing from digital sabotage. And while Israel's cyber warriors are at the cutting edge today, other nations, China, Russia, the US, are racing to catch up. In this invisible battlefield, there are no front lines, there is only code. And whoever controls it controls the future. In the deserts of Middle East, Israel's military might is clear to the eye, but in the hidden world of cyberspace, its greatest weapon is invisible. Unit 8200 has already reshaped how wars are fought and how nations protect themselves. And as technology advances, the question is not whether cyber armies will decide the future, but who will command them. And in the future battlefield, one rivalry could decide the fate of Middle East, Mossad versus Iran's Quad Force. In our next video, we'll uncover the shadow war, assassination, sabotage, and battle for regional dominance.